talking crankbaits. So new this year for me, Bagley Lures is a new sponsor, and you know, one of the most historic brands in fishing. These baits have been around for decades and have caught a lot of bass. You know, any old school bass angler has some old Bagley crankbaits in their box. So it's been fun. I've been using them quite a bit. This is probably my favorite one so far, the B1. That's one of the original baits that they've had out forever, and that's one of the new, they've got 4 colors that are new Bass Pro Shop exclusive. That's one of them. That's another B1. This one's a diving B1. I'm losing them. That's the flat B2. So these are Bass Pro exclusive colors, and they come in these three different baits: the diving B1, the flat B2, and the regular B1, which is kind of like your you know, square bill, shallow cover crankbait. When it comes to throwing these things, I guess one other thing with the baits, I do on my tournament baits, I definitely like to change out the hooks. And this one I had tied on recently at Lake Fork, so I've got some heavy duty short shank Gamakatsu EWG trebles. That's a good crankbait, you know, if you're fishing for big fish and you got to muscle them a little bit. A lot of the baits I put just the G-Finesse trebles on. They're a little bit lighter wire, very sharp, penetrate really good crankbait hooks as well. The rod reel line, all part of the system. Loomis in their IMX Pro line have a number of different crankbait rods. This 845, it's a 7-footer. That's my kind of favorite all-purpose crankbait rod. And because of their multi-taper design, Loomis doesn't use any fiberglass in the crankbait rod. So what that means is you're gonna have a rod designed for throwing crankbaits. We got the soft tip, we got some muscle through this part of the rod, but they're really light. So you throw them all day and you're not gonna get tired out, worn out. As far as reels go, I'm using a Shimano Metanium on here. Whether it's a Metanium, I throw Corrados a lot. I like a 7-to-1 reel for the most part on just about all the rods that I use. And a lot of anglers like to use a slower retrieve reel for crankbait fishing. I just kind of reel it slower. I like having, you know, just the same reel on, you know, a lot of my rods across the board, just for continuity, if you will. As far as line goes, you know, I'm generally with crankbaits, I'm going to throw them on fluorocarbon. Seagar Brazex I've been using forever. It's pretty reliable, good stuff. I've got 14-pound test on here. I might throw 12 if I'm fishing for smallmouths, if I want the baits to go a little bit deeper. You know, I might go up to 16 or 17 even if I'm fishing shallow, a lot of cover where I'm gonna have to muscle fish a little bit more. But some baits aren't gonna work as well with heavy line. Some baits are gonna work better with lighter line, that sort of thing. And then one other thing with the balsa crankbaits, you know, getting to use them a lot more over the last few months. One thing that I've learned is you gotta reel them a little bit slower to get better action out of them. They're very buoyant, so they have a lot of natural movement and wiggle, and just try reeling them a little bit slower and you're gonna get more bites and catch more fish on them.